Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 3109 and Doubleshot 3003. Basically, with these two books here, they're both published pretty much around the same period of time of each other. First up we have is She-Hulk Volume 8, Lady Liberators, which this trade is known for two things. Number one, it's the end of Peter David's run, and also it's the final trade to collect issues from Volume 2 for the series. It collects issues 34 to 38 of this volume for She-Hulk. Basically, Peter did this writing, obviously, with Vanessa Kazaka, who has just issued 34, but also co-does it with Pascal Quinano. 37-30 is done by Steve Scott. The cover art for 37 is basically... Let's see. For 37 is basically for 34, 36 is Mike Diodato and Rain Bernardo. The rest of the book is done by Vanessa Castillo, who is the interior art for 34, 36. Castillo, Barbara Casero, Dave Williams, and Christina Strain. We start off with the first one, with the Lady Liberators have returned. And the book has become very cartoony, like a cartoon show. So we start out in, looks like Arabia, possibly. So, and then we have She-Hulk basically brought in here. And we mentioned the whole thing, like, with issue 7 of this book. So She-Hulk is working with a friend, and then of course, she brings together the Lady Liberators for like a humanitarian effort, which is comprised of herself, Valkyrie, Thunder, and the Invisible Woman. Yep. Why these four? Don't know. And Thundera, she is like really tall woman. And can you believe this woman is the mother of a She-Hulk? Yes, seriously. Yeah, talk about another time with this one. So basically, they put together this new humanitarian efforts. Of course, there's also this weird-looking spaceship they just happen to fly in, because it's jet disease where they fly over there. And we have a brief cameo here by, of all people, Leandra. This, of course, is prior to her death by a raptor, who was blamed on Darkhawk. Yes, the original Darkhawk was actually blamed for her death in the War of the Kings crossover, and it was done by a completely different raptor. So they come in, and of course they do some, and of course they run into the Winter Guard, which is cries of the Red Guardian, Dark Star, who was a former champion. This is not the original one of their ones. Major Bear, and this other guy here. And keep these guys also have one shot in a miniseries. So yeah, we have Lady Liberators versus the Winter Guard. It's just, hey Pooh, you ready to get stuff here kicked to you again? I guess She-Hulk did, and she won. Oh, it's Ursa Major. That's named the bear. And they fight them. Yeah. We even have She-Hulk basically got me by the cheeks, by the fur, and just give a kick right in the face. You have Thunder. Oh, it's actually been Crimson Dynamo. Yeah, Crimson Dynamo. At one point, there was a Federal Dynamo. Yes. Because got to get rid of the Soviet stuff. Reasons. And they're here for reasons. Are they technically in Russia? No, because Winter Guard are technically Russian superheroes. They're in that Arabian country. They're here for humanitarian work. Not thinking of fight with our superhero team. And of course, She-Hulk basically is brought in, of course, brought for the ruler of the country, who tries to woo his way with her, but he's like, nope, not interested. And then Invisible was knocked out because of the lack of oxygen and stuff. Of course, She-Hulk tries to fight him. Then he gets knocked down too. She's like, what? Yeah, something odd is happening here. Like, then she gets chained up on top of a bed, and she's back to Jim Walters' look. Though she's stopped by, the guy stopped, but it seems like he was, like, it's almost like basically this guy was planning on doing something with her sexually, but luckily we stopped one of his guards, who actually is not one of his guards, actually is Dadzeta, the Skrull who cannot die. Yep, and Freezer. And of course, everything's all wrapped up pretty nicely. And of course, the dictator proceeds to kill himself on live TV. Yes, the president's country decided to kill himself on live TV. The other guy's in the run. And they even have them trapped to bed. And of course, lots of yelling. And then for the last 2 issues, it's called Heroic Portions, where She-Hulk is on trial once again, just like issue 100 of the book, where basically it's all about debate of basically this book is going to continue. And of course, Mallory is representing her this time, not the woman who could basically put her toe in her mouth. Yeah, and she fights Mormex. He was a mutant introduced in New X-Men, who got killed. Actually, this is Mantovex. He got killed at some other point. Actually, his New X-Men was wasn't an attack on X-Men introduced. He was actually killed in New Academy. New X-Men. He was actually introduced during Chuck Austin's brief run for X-Men. And of course, seeing superhero, this time I can find actual superhero. So a lot of us debating exactly what to do with She-Hulk at this point, and then like we get to the last issue, we have this nice apartment that is run by the law firm, and it turns out that we have the whole thing. We have apparently Jadzia, where she's basically a captive, and hooked up by these weird scientific experiments just because she's a freaking Skrull and cannot die. It's all about scientific stuff and trying to save her. And by the end, basically, she does able to break out. And She-Hulk says, I quit, this is over. And the book ends. Yeah, ends like that. Goes to a meeting, and the book just ends. Book's canceled. I'm sure Peter David just want to end the book quickly. But this book was really good. Yes, really good. And look at this book, roughly a 9 out of 10. Good book. Final thoughts on Peter David's run and Volume 2 of She-Hulk. Peter David had a very interesting run of the book. A bit more serious this time, not jokey like it was during Dan Slott's run, but really good idea what he wanted to do. I thought it was kind of interesting. He used a scroll, which, by the way, that scroll, the next time she appeared after this was the pages of was pages of Sword, a very brief title of Karen Gillian wrote. Got canceled. She appeared a few times after that, and that's been it for her. Don Derry, of course, also would later be responsible for the creation of the next She-Hulk, which I'll talk about another time. Valkyrie will also occasionally appear over the years. Also be the leader of the Fearless Defenders book. At one point, she was actually in love with another girl. A girl was in love with her. Until Jason Aaron had killed off in issue 2 of War of the Realms. So yeah, she continued for another 11 years in the comics. So Sue Richards is still very heavily active in Fantastic Four. Still to this day. There was a big period of time she was gone because of the whole bluffy with Marvel and Fox. All rights Fantastic Four and X-Men, but that's it for that book. Next up, we have a book by Matt Fraction, a writer who nowadays some writers, some readers, some might say that they weren't fans of his writing. I enjoy his writing for what it was. This guy, of course, when I read comics, he does some really good work on Iron Man, Thor. I love his Hawkeye book. The one book of his that gets a lot of flack from readers, I get from nowadays, people who were around my age, remember it, is the Kenny X-Men work. I've heard people describe his work on Kenny X-Men as boring. Him and Karen Gillian. I'm like, we're reading the same book. Book wasn't terrible under them. It just wasn't like what it was when Bribbinger wrote the book. Fine. But don't say it was terrible or boring. Like, are you implying nothing happened for 35 issues? Doesn't seem like. But this book is where Matt Fraction started his epic run on Thor. That started with a World Eater story arc, and they got relaunched under simply Mighty Thor, which lasted for 22 issues and had a single annual. The annual itself actually filled the gap between World Eaters and then that run. This was basically like a side book where basically we had Thor versus Skrulls. This book contained the 3-issue miniseries Secret Invasion of Thor, plus his first meeting with plus a classic battle with a Super Skrull from Thor 142 back in the 60s. Which is written by Stan Lee and artwork by Jack Kirby. Doug Brothoff does the artwork here. Yeah, this is during Matt Fraction's run where he's treating also a pregnant woman here. who later gives birth to a baby girl. And the whole thing, it deals well with Beta Ray Bill being injured. I'm also quite surprised this trade decided not to include the Beta Ray Bill one-shot. Yeah, he had a one-shot published as an aftermath for Secret Invasion, and it's not in this trade. Guess where you can find that one-shot? Probably in Secret Invasion Omnibus. You won't find it here. It would be the perfect place to put it. But no, not here. So yeah, he's injured. Of course, people think he's a Skrull, but not really. So at one point, you have Thor giving Mjolnir to him so he can become his normal self until he finds his hammer. And also, you can tell this is during Mad Fraction's run. This is before this happened. We have Loki appear here as a woman. Not feminine design. That's him as a woman. Though it was later revealed this actually was, I kid you not, this was him using the body of Lady Sif for Joyride. Yes. Oh, did you know also Hawkeye kissed Loki when he was in his female form? When he was posing as Scarlet Witch in Mighty Avengers? Yes. And do you know who wrote that? Dan Slott. Yeah. He's like, I live again. And of course, he has this awesome outfit. This book is just pure awesome. You have basically Thor and Beta Ray Bill by themselves with Bo the Brave fighting the frickin' Skrulls. I'm like, that is so awesome. And fighting with the Warriors 3, various other Skrulls. This book is just awesome. It's an epic book. They do get back Stormbringer by the end of the book, and Thor becomes Thor himself again, and he beats the Skrull up, and they win. Also, basically, I think few readers would love to see this. Thor rips his shirt open during a battle. Yeah, one of the rare times, of course, Asgard gets threatened. Though this is when Asgard was a floating city over Braxton, not the way it is now, where it's something else now. So, yeah, book wraps right there. With them going separate ways, and that's it. Excellent book. Of course, the whole thing with Jack Kirby stuff, that's just basically Thor versus Super Skrull, which is an amazing story here. This book is amazing. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Just pure awesome as finest. In case you're curious, though, have you read everything related to Secret Invasion? No, I have not. There is still Secret Invasion Homefront, and I think there's a few mini-series left, because I have reviewed, there's also, I think it was Secret Invasion Fantastic Four. I have not reviewed that one yet. I did review the one for the Dark Reign Fantastic Four book. I have reviewed that. The only miniseries I have technically reviewed besides this one, that's Secret Invasion related, I have reviewed Amazing Spider-Man. And of course, also there's a Time mini-series featuring Young Avengers and Runaways. I'm looking forward to doing that one soon again. I have viewed the Captain Marvel one. Let's see. All the ongoing series right now that are part of this thing, I have pretty much all reviewed those. So the miniseries I have reviewed. Let's see. I reviewed Thor. I did do War of Kings. Amazing Spider-Man, obviously. But that's been it. Oh yeah, and also Frontline. So, not many books left. No, not really. Basically, what's left? Home Invasion. Who Do You Trust? Let's see. Secret Invasion Fantastic Four. Secret Invasion Humans. And that's it. No surprise that the Beta Ray Bill one-shot is not one of these trades. I'm looking, I'm like, I would think it'd be one of these trades, because, let's see. Who Do You Trust? Nope, not there. Nope. I find this weird that this one-shot, which is an Aftermath one-shot, Dark Reign one, I believe that was collected in a Thunderbolts trade. Yes, but the Secret Vision Alpha Beta Reveal Guard of Eden. Yeah, this is not collected. I don't really know why it's not collected. It just is not. And I'm looking. It's not. Oh, I don't think I have reviewed Secret Vision X-Men. No, I haven't reviewed that one yet. But that's pretty much this book. So basically, almost every Secret Vision. And given this book came out almost 20 years ago. Yeah, this event came almost 20 years ago. I remember it started in April of 2008, and it concluded in probably it was June, but it actually wrapped up in like November, I think it was. Yes. Now on all the ongoing parts that tie into this book, yeah, I've got all those done. Those are fully reviewed. Now, what series ended because of this crossover? Where we're relaunched per se. Well, Avengers Initiative that lasted for another. I think it was about 16 issues we're going to cancel. Yes. Black Panther got restarted. Captain Britain managed to last for 8 more issues for ending. Deadpool managed to last for quite some time. So the Guardians of the Galaxy. Hercules that lasted for another about 21 issues. Iron Man Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. This we got early launch as Invincible Iron Man by my fraction. Mighty Avengers lasted for 16 more issues. Miss Marvel managed to last for 20 issues. New Avengers managed to last for another 15 issues. New Warriors ended not long after this within 5 issues. Nova managed to last for almost 20 more issues. Punisher War Journal managed to last for 1 more issue before ending. I restarted Simply Punisher. S.H.I.E.L.D., which I talked about this book already. Thunderbolts will continue for quite a while after this one. Yeah, this one. So the other books that continued long after this book got ended were just Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mighty Event, Miss Marvel, and Thunderbolts, and of course X Factor. A lot of everything else either got canceled or simply relaunched within a couple years or so. But I like Secret Invasion. But that's pretty much a particular view. I thought we'd have time to watch Blue X's. I think I'll watch it tomorrow at this point in time. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and just review One Piece next. Yep. But to the next video. Bye.